This is a Consumer Snapshot for October 2014, and this month we'll take a look at 3 areas. Sentiment, with an updated look at consumer confidence. In strategy, we'll take a look at practical purchase intentions and forward-looking financial plans. Finally, we'll review some Halloween highlights. First up is a look at consumer confidence. Sentiment cools almost 4 points from the near 7-year high reached in September to 41% in October. While this month's reading is a vast improvement over October 2013, when the government shut down, it has fallen back into the holding pattern that has characterized much of 2014. The big question last month was if that elevated confidence reading was sustainable. So I think this month's decline is indicative of a consumer that is still cautious about the state of the economy. However, continuing the trends we've seen in previous months, October's 41% is the highest October reading since the Great Recession. To put this in perspective though, this month's figure lands nearly 4 points below pre-recession October 2007. Now that we've seen what's on consumers' minds, let's see what's in store for their wallets. Consumers send a few mixed signals this month, with fewer citing practicality and more focusing on needs compared to September. While both indicators have declined compared to recession-era October 2009, each remains elevated from pre-recession October 2007. So again, we're still seeing effects of this new normal approach to pragmatic spending. We continue to see this financially conservative side of consumers when we take a look at their fiscal plans over the next 3 months. Paying down debt remains the priority, only declining marginally since the height of the recession as well as prior to the downturn. Plans to decrease overall spending have tapered off since the Great Recession, but remain elevated from its pre-recession level. I think the most telling indicator here are plans to increase savings. Padding the piggy banks rose in importance during the downturn and has surged a bit more among current consumers. However, while it doesn't look like consumers will spend at the expense of savings, we're also seeing signs that consumers are willing to take on a little more credit card debt. I recently presented a consumer behavior and economic update with a look at some trends we might see for the upcoming holiday season, highlighting some of the trends I've presented today. For key takeaways from this analysis and to view my PowerPoint, head over to prosperdiscovery.com. The link embedded here will also be clickable in the downloadable version of this month's Consumer Snapshot. While the holiday 2014 shopping season is certainly topical now, let's lighten up a bit with a look at that other holiday on the horizon, Halloween. This year, Halloween celebrants plan to spend about $77 on costumes, candy, decor, and cards this year, up slightly from last year's $75 figure. About 2/3 of consumers plan to celebrate Halloween in some way, shape, or form. Perhaps with Halloween falling on a Friday this year, making it a perfect weekend for revelry, a record percentage of consumers plan to dress in costume. This year, witches, princesses, and pumpkins are among the top costumes for adults, children, and pets. But where do celebrants head for their costume inspiration? Online searches, costume shops, and friends and family are consumers' top sources for inspiration. Now let's take a look at who's most likely to win Best Costume. With the majority of Gen X and Millennial Halloween celebrants planning to dress in costume, you'll be sure to see some imaginative choices among this crowd. These two generations are also much more likely to seek a wider variety of sources for costume inspiration. As you can see, while online searching and retail stores still dominate with these groups, millennials also rely heavily on their peers, pop culture, Facebook, and Pinterest. Now, for more on our Halloween insights, visit the National Retail Federation's Halloween headquarters at nrf.com/Halloween. And that's all for this month. You can also keep tabs on our latest discoveries by heading over to prosperdiscovery.com. Thanks for watching.